A little something to uplift your spirit. Turn your radios all the way up. Roll your windows down.
Can't wear me down.
Yeah.
I'm moving on. You can dim my light. You can pray for my downfall every night. Yeah. See, this truth makes me high. I'm a rocket till I die. I take my wings and fly high. You can't wear me down. This lonely road is very long. I pray Yahweh keeps me strong. Cause with him there can be no wrong. You can't wear me down.
See, I could fall or drown in self-doubt, or stand on my feet and pull myself out. Yeah. If I was weak, I'd throw the towel in easily, or take a second look to see what life is teaching me. And embrace it boldly, no rush, I take it slowly. If I go off the path, then I pray he show me. I was blessed with talents, and I accept the challenge. Life's a tightrope walk, somehow I kept it balanced. And when they tried to wear me, I knew that y'all would spare me. I kept the law, I'm not sure that some of y'all could hear me. But I'm not surprised, failure is not advised. Can't walk a mile in my shoes, my man, they're not your size. Take these words and share it, go let your mother hear it. If he's down, hook a song can lift a brother's spirit. And to the precious sisters, music was made to lift us. Touch our spirit at times if it's based in scriptures. And never say that your hope is done. Your faith is built, every obstacle you overcome. Count your blessings, cause life is a precious gift. Praise to Yahweh and the greatest king that ever lived, Yahweh Shai.
So this truth makes me high. I'm a rocket till I die. I take my wings and fly high. You can't wear me down. This lonely road is very long. I pray Yahweh keeps me strong. Cause with him there can be no wrong. You can't wear me down. Ooh, yeah. Wear me down.
Hurricane, earthquake, and wildfire. FEMA comes fenced in with barbed wire. We're in the end, no time to get tired. Do what's required. Obey, yeah, 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 yeah.
Do it all.
Obey, yeah, 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 yeah.
Must
yeah.
obey these laws.
Obey, yeah, 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 yeah.
No matter
yeah,
what.
Yeah. Obey, yeah, yeah, yeah,
My
yeah,
soldiers
yeah,
stand
yeah.
up. Now we the chosen, can see the end is speedily approaching. By the showing of these tokens, we know when the prophecies unfolding. Right before our very eyes, now all your eyes awoken to recognize when Mashiach Yahweh Shai spoken. In the midst of all the commotion, another seal has been broken. The window of grace is closing. Now you watching when every moment you on social media scrolling, commenting on what the next man posting. No babies lost and ye should dwell in safety. I sent a land of Goshen. 400 years of slaves was brought across the Atlantic Ocean. Now we turning back to Jerusalem and we praying and hoping for deliverance out the city tenements of Babylon.
Hurricane, earthquake, and wildfire. FEMA comes fenced in with barbed wire. We're in the end, no time to get tired. Do what's required. Obey, yeah, 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 yeah. Obey, yeah, 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 yeah. Obey, yeah, 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 yeah. Obey, yeah, 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 yeah.
From a mother's womb, destined to speak these words. Israel, the chosen seed, the nation he prefers. Not to boast or brag, Gentiles, I know they mad, but we just came to claim what we're supposed to have. Honor, riches, diamonds, treasures, glory, kingdom. He showed it to Esdras. Our people walking orderly. Our nation about to rise. Some may have 7 ribs, others 1,000 wives. We have to suffer first. We have to take this cup. We gotta preach the word until he takes us up. We gotta spread the gospel. We gotta give them comfort and let the heathen know that their days are numbered. Yahweh is his name and his name alone. And when the story's over, Christ wins the Game of Thrones. But it's not a movie, it wasn't made for TV. To reach that magic number, he's not gonna make it easy. Focus, order, sermons, teaching, repeat every week cause the lost sheep are sleeping. But this ain't a job to me, it's gonna happen cause it's written down in prophecy.
Hurricane, earthquake, and wildfire. FEMA comes spin with barbed wire. We're in the end, no time to get tired. Do what's required. Obey, yeah, 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 yeah. Obey, yeah, 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 yeah. Obey, yeah, 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 yeah. Obey, yeah, 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 yeah.
Yes, so understand, say I go rule this land because the Most High I come down to give this land to I and I. The earth is ours. From Jamaica to Jerusalem, we are going to take down the white man kingdom, and Babylon must burn down. So said the Most High. Hear this.
When we wake up in the morning, we praise Yahweh. When we hit the streets to teach, we praise Yahweh. When we have the brotherhood moments, we praise Yahweh. Every time a heathen die in the city, we praise Yahweh. When we wake up in the morning, we praise Yahweh. When we hit the streets to teach, we praise Yahweh. When we have the brotherhood moments, we praise Yahweh. Every time a heathen die in the city, we praise Yahweh. Like David did in the psalm, we praise Yah. Hit a cracker on the side of the cheek with a razor. Like I'm Ephraim, so you know Benjamin beside me, no hiding. We with the
What's going on, brothers and sisters? What's going on? Welcome to another Sunday class from Lines of Israel. It's your brother, Priest Daniela, represent Lines of Israel, Maccabees TV. We appreciate everybody being here. Shout out to everybody that's listening to us on YouTube. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Make sure you guys check and make sure you guys are subscribed to the channels. We do appreciate everybody that comes here every week to listen to the class. We definitely appreciate your support. If you listen to us on Clubhouse, make sure that you click the link at the top of the room so you can come over and watch the PowerPoint lesson. Without further ado, I'm going to turn the class over. Sister Malika, you could take the class over.
Shalom, shalom, everyone. Shalom. As always, I would like to ask and make sure that everybody is able to hear me. All right. So let me try and share. Let me just go ahead and try and share my screen. Give me 1 second, guys. As always, trying to get set up here and share my screen. Just a few seconds. While we're doing that, welcome everybody. Welcome. Thank you for being in. And give me 1 second. There we go. Hopefully you guys are able to see the screen there. Let me just make sure you guys are able to see it. Welcome. If you're here, say hello in the chat. If you're here, say hello in the chat. Say hello in the chat if you're here. All right. So today we're going to talk about the stuff you're eating. So last week, well, not last week. The last time we were here, I briefly showed a video, a couple of videos regarding farm raised fishing, right? And we were talking about briefly about the hypertension and all of that stuff. So there was a few people who said they wanted me to continue talk about that particular topic, right? Some people had questions, so I decided to put together the PowerPoint. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be, hang on, give me 1 second. Slideshow. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so we're going to be talking about what you have on your plate, what you've been consuming. So how much farm-raised seafoods are Americans consuming? And the effect of farm-raised fishes, or seafood on your health. Okay, what we're discussing today. So the United States is the second largest seafood importer in the world. Okay. The European Union is number one. So it's in, right? Your seafoods are coming from Canada, Chile, India, Indonesia, and Vietnam. That's where most of your imported seafoods are coming from, all right? At least 85% of seafoods consumed in the United States are imported, and approximately 50 to 60% of seafood consumed in the U.S. is farm raised. A lot of the imported seafoods are being farm raised in other countries, excuse me, and shipped to the U.S., or the United States will farm raise the seafood, ship it to other countries to be processed, right? Because it's cheaper over there to be processed. And then the seafoods, it'll get shipped back to the US where we consume it, okay? So why do the United States farm raise and import so much seafood? Well, there are a couple of reasons. Capitalism, supply and demand. And as I like to say, I guess, work smarter and not harder, right? That's the mentality. If you can make a lot of money from raising hundreds of thousands of small animal in small cages, where you don't have to go out and set traps and cast your nets, right? Why wouldn't you, why not do it, right? There are certain seafoods that are easy to farm raise and some that are not. It's easy for certain types of seafood to reproduce in a controlled environment, and it's easier to feed these certain types of fishes because these types of fishes eat certain types of plants, or what they call simple feed fish foods. And certain species of seafoods are very tolerant of crowded and filthy space, dirty water quality, and so on and so forth, right? And some of these seafoods grow really fast, right? So the white man seek out and study these specific types of seafoods to farm raise, okay? There are hundreds of thousands of different species of fishes in the ocean, but I don't know if you guys notice, you only see just a small amount, like a certain types of fishes in the supermarket. If you notice that, like there's only a small, like a small amount, like it is not a lot of different species. And that's because the ones that they're selling to you is the ones that they are able to quickly farm raise. Okay. You know, as you know, when the European do things, they do it to benefit their people. Okay, if you go to, say, the continent of Africa, or say the Caribbean, right, and you look at how people eat fishes there, you'll notice that a lot of these people enjoy eating their fishes whole. They don't like to eat fillet fishes. They're not. A lot of people from these places not familiar with fillet fishes, a fish fillet, right? Most Caribbean people that I know, including myself, we just, when we go to get fishes, we want the whole fish, the fish with the head attached to it. Yes, right. If the head is not attached, we don't really like it. We probably won't even buy it. There are certain fishes that white people enjoy consuming. Okay, the type of seafoods that you have available to you are the type of foods that European enjoy. So you're pretty much eating what they like. Okay, shrimp, salmon. There's a lot of salmon. That's because that's what they like. Alaskan pollock, codfish, crabs, and so on and so forth, right? That's what they like. Some of these fishes are easier, as I mentioned, to fillet. They're easy to fillet. It's easier to get. They don't have a lot of bones, and it's easy to get the bones out of some of these fishes. You know, white folks do not enjoy having to remove a whole lot of bones while they're eating their fishes. Okay, the same way they don't enjoy having to spit out the seeds from watermelon. Y'all know it, which is why the watermelon have no seeds. Let me tell y'all something. If white people could create fishes with no bones, believe me, they would. Okay, and they've already done the watermelon without seed, right? So these things are an inconvenience for white folks. They don't want, the things, have to do things hard. They want things easy, fast, convenient. You know what I mean? They're not interested in anything that's natural. They don't care about organic, natural stuff, blah, blah, blah. It's all about the money and things that comes fast and easy and convenient. That's just what it boils down to, right? How are these fishes being farmed? Okay, we're going to talk about how the fishes are being farmed. Pesticides, antibiotic, and vaccines are being used on these farm-raised seafoods. Why are the antibiotic being used? When the fishes defecate, right? These fishes are being kept in contained environment where they're not able to go anywhere. So whenever they defecate in the environment, they're swimming around in all of that fecal matter. Okay, so that's why they have to use the antibiotic, because if they don't, the fishes will develop bacteria and other diseases. Okay, why are the pesticides being used? Well, there's something called sea lice. Yes, sea lice. And these sea lice are parasites that attach themselves to fishes, and it can eventually kill them, right? So when you have thousands of fishes in a crowded container in the middle of the ocean, these fishes have, they can't escape. So, they have to pour that pesticide in there to try and kill these lice, but they're also pouring that pesticides on your fish, right? Yeah. Vaccine, pretty much for the same reason they're putting the pesticides there. Thousands of farm-raised fishes sharing the same crowded environment, right? Where they're all defecating and everything, right? So that leads to a lot of bacteria, viruses, and parasites. So that's why they're being vaccinated, right? Same way they're vaccinating the livestocks, okay? All right. Let me see it. We're going to share
Tank full
video
of
here. Give me a second, guys.
Tank full of big walleye mamas here at Pleasant Mountain Fish Hatchery. They'll help create a generation of fish that will go all over the state. Hatchery manager Walt Yetter takes us through the process.
So these are coming right out of the lake. Right out of Wallenpaupack, yep.
It does all start out on Lake Wallenpaupack. When the lake temperature approaches 45 degrees, the Fish and Boat Commission workers know the walleye are ready to spawn. So even on cold March days, they are out in the water, netting a bunch to recreate nature back in the hatchery.
Some of these bigger fish have probably been at the hatchery every year for the past 20 years.
You think you end up getting
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yep.
The next steps force what happens naturally in the lake. The mama walleye actually takes a dip in a bucket of anesthetic, then gets dried off. If you are squeamish at all, you may want to look away from what's coming next. Yep, close your eyes right now. It's time to push out those eggs. A lot of them.
So it just takes a little bit of pressure if the female is right, what we call it.
Guys, what we're watching here is it's a place that they call a hatchery. This is where the eggs are produced from the fish, and more fishes are produced in these hatcheries, and then they go and release them. All right, you guys will see.
That means she's ready to give us eggs. So
those are all the eggs.
Those are all eggs. Yep.
How many eggs?
Should be, I would say, that size fish should be right around 90 to 100,000 eggs.
Wow. Then it's time to get the male walleyes. Of course, they have a role here too. But we're going to stop it right here. You get the idea. We'll move along to the high-tech tool used to mix it all together. A turkey feather.
Yep, has to be a turkey feather. Goose doesn't work. So it's just a way to stir everything up, but yet you want something gentle that's not going to break the eggs, because the eggs are really fragile.
When he pours out the water, you can really see those little individual eggs.
You can put some on your finger if you want for a reference, if you want to touch them. So that's probably 100 eggs right there.
100 eggs right on my fingertip. We just happened to be here the first day the walleye were ready to spawn this season. Those eggs then go in incubators waiting to hatch, a whole process that drastically increases the survival rate of the eggs compared to the lake.
This whole room will be full here in 3 to 4 weeks. We'll have about 20 million eggs in here.
20 million eggs.
Yeah.
And that'll turn into how many?
We'll get about 1 million fish here.
Next week, we'll look more history and variety of the Pleasant Mountain Fish Hatchery.
All right. All right. That's where they all started out, guys. That's where your farm-raised fishes started out. Here's another one.
They should be almost like this.
We change water 24 hours a day. Yes, in order that the food will not rot.
Now, this is after the eggs are, mature and you get the little fishes, right? Here we go.
And directly to the filter.
That's smart.
Okay.
People today, they can forget what to do.
Yeah. We're not seeing this in America, yeah.
Wow.
Yes, you see, I didn't talk, yes?
Yeah.
This is how our fish look like. You see, it's very important for us that the fish will have short body and high fins. We do our best that the fish will be minimum 4 to 5 millimeters. Not long.
The fat, yeah. This is crazy. So this is the brine shrimp.
This is the brine shrimp. We do 3 kilo every day. 3 kilo of this.
Wow. Look how much brine shrimp that is.
And just so you know, that's all eggs. That's all eggs he's pouring in the water. All of that is fish eggs.
Wow.
But anyway, not gonna go any further with that. I just wanted you guys to see how it all started out, right? So where do the hatcheries put their fishes? So the eggs are hatched, and when the tiny fishes grow to a certain size, they are oftentimes placed in lakes, rivers, stream, ponds, and reservoir. Okay. Certain hatcheries send their fishes to be farm raised for mass production. All right. So, when you go fishing deep in the woods, in the wilderness, upstate New York somewhere, and you think you're catching wild fish, unfortunately, such is not the case. Okay. Such is not the case. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but yeah. Let's take a look.
My name's Scott Wanner. I'm the hatchery manager out here at the Rome Fish Hatchery. Rome Hatchery has about 1.2 million fish that we raise per year. We stock approximately 350 ponds and lakes in the Adirondacks. Rome is responsible for approximately 200 of those. The only way to get these fish in there is through air stocking and meeting the helicopters up in these remote areas so that we can get the stocking done. So we have 2 aerators per tank that creates oxygen for the fish as we're hauling them down the road. We can usually hold about 8,000 to 10,000 on a truck. Somebody will fly in the helicopter with the pilots, and there's a tank on each side where the person is staged. And then there's actually a chute that's right in front of the tanks. We try to strategically stock 5 or 6 ponds per trip that are in close proximity to wherever our landing zones are.
And I want you guys to take a look at this. Just take a look at this. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So that we can get the stocking done.
I'm sorry, guys.
So we have 2 aerators per tank that creates oxygen for the fish as we're hauling them down the road. We can usually hold about 8,000 to 10,000 on a truck. Somebody will fly in the helicopter with the pilots, and there's a tank on each side where the person is staged. And then there's actually a chute that's right in front of the tanks. We try to strategically stock 5 or 6 ponds per trip that are in close proximity to wherever our landing zones are. Sometimes they land on the pond if the pond is big enough. Sometimes not. Sometimes they'll just get down as close as we can and we'll hover over the pond until we get them netted out.
Do y'all see that? Oh yeah, that's they're restocking the river.
Stock these Adirondack ponds because we want to keep that real nice native population alive and well, and it also gives us a unique fishing opportunity for sportsmen to fish in.
Now, I wanted to show you guys this video, right? Because this is, I don't know how many of you guys has ever been to the Adirondacks. I've been there once or twice, right? If you go upstate New York, it's, some of these places are very remote. It's like going into the wild, and you think you're going fishing to go get some fresh fish. The fishes in these waters are fishes that was created, I mean, inside of a building somewhere. I hate to say, where they are being, they're putting chemicals in the water, antibiotics and stuff like that to raise these eggs and these fishes, and then they put them on these helicopters, and the helicopters go and just pour them out into the river, and there you are thinking you're getting fresh wild fish upstate New York, that's unfortunately no, that's what they're doing, and they've been doing these things for years. A lot of our people don't know that this is what has been going on. There's hardly any wild fishes left in a lot of these rivers and streams, man, because Esau has just everywhere. It's like a fruit fly. You just can't get rid of these folks. Anyway, these things really piss me off. Okay, so so they put, putting pretty much, like I said, putting their hatchery farm fishes in the streams and the rivers, and these like I said, these fishes were treated with chemicals while they were in their hatcheries. They have to, because if not, then they get all the bacteria and fungus and infections while they're there. So they have to treat them with the chemicals. Before I go any further, I almost forgot. Before I go any further, there's a couple of requests. When I come here every week, I always have requests from brothers and sisters, and I have a couple of requests here. I made a note. So before I go any further, I have about 3 or 4 requests here from brothers and sisters. So as you guys know, the last time we were live here, I mentioned something about a lung cleanse, and there's a few people reach out to us to hang on. Me 1 second. There we go. So people reach out to us about the lung cleanse that I mentioned here. So the lung cleanse, guys, is something that my husband and I are currently taking right now. We take it in the wintertime, and it is something that we take to help us strengthen the immune system and the lung. Okay, help you with coughing and stuff like that, mucus. All right, so you don't get all that coughing and stuff. It breaks up a lot of mucus and phlegm from off your chest. All right, it has a lot of herbs in there, a lot of natural stuff in there. It's like a tonic. Okay, so the formula is not necessarily a winter tonic. It can be taken any time of year to help strengthen your lung. It also helps with COPD. However, the reason I reinforce this in the winter time is because a lot of people come down with cold and flu and other respiratory problem in the winter. Okay, so it's very essential for people who smoke. If you're a smoker, or if you used to smoke and you stopped smoking, or if you're struggling with lung issue like COPD, or if you had lung cancer or currently have dealing with lung cancer. Okay, there are some key ingredients. Let me share my screen here. There are some key ingredients in the lung cleanse. Hang on. Hopefully you guys are able to see. About to share my screen, guys. So we are on the website Grassroot Botanicals, and this is the product I am referring to here. I mentioned it briefly last week, and quite a few people had questions about it. This is the lung cleanse, okay? And some of the ingredients in this cleanse, there's some soursop extract in here, okay, come from the soursop plant. It has papaya enzymes. It has a lot of vitamin C, Has a lot of herbs that are good for the lung, like mullein and stuff like that. So there's a lot of stuff in here, and it is very good, like I said, for coughing and stuff like that. All right, so here we go. This is a half a gallon. All right, and the shipping is free. So it's a time of year where a lot of people are coming down with right problem. This right here is very good for that. Okay, it's specifically for the lung. All right. Okay. There's another brother who reached out to me regarding, let's see, what's the other thing? Okay. So this brother is having concern about occasional constipation, and he wants to know, what do I recommend? Okay. Let me say this, guys. If you're having issues with constipation, you need to reduce or eliminate the processed carbohydrate like pasta, bread, cookies, donuts, and cheese. Cheese is your enemy if you're having constipation, okay? Cheese and bread. You need to also incorporate some fiber in your diet. Fiber. You need a lot of fiber. You need to start eating stuff like legumes, like split peas and chickpeas, lentils and split peas and stuff like that. It has a lot of fiber in it, okay? But if you are having constipation, you need to do a flush. You need to get rid of all of that waste that's sitting in your gut, because that's waste. If you're constipated, you have a lot of waste, okay? Right here, I know it says gallstone removal, but this is going to flush you out, okay? There you go, right there. And right next to it, here's another colon cleanser, all right? So these two things, you can get any one of them. They're going to help you with your constipation. You can either get the gallstone removal or the colon cleanse right here. There you go. That'll help you. These two things will help you with constipation, okay? All right. But you also need some digestive enzymes, guys. If you are having issues with constipation, you need digestive enzymes, okay? Hang on. Give me 1 second. Give me a second. Okay. This right here is what we call a gut balance digestive enzyme. And why do you need digestive enzyme if you're constipated? This right here helps to break down the food you're eating and helps you to go to the bathroom better so you're not constipated, okay? Helps to break down your foods, break down the protein and the carbohydrate, helps to break those things down so your food is moving through your system faster and better so you don't get constipated, all right? So this is something that you would want to take on a daily basis. It's half hour before you go and eat something, okay? And we are on the website called Elite Elements. That's the website here. That's where you can get that digestive enzymes. EliteElements.com. EliteElements.com. All right. You come here and grab that digestive enzyme, and you take 2 of them half hour before you eat. That's going to help you with constipation, so you don't get constipated every day. Okay. All right. What's the other one? I think we have one last one. There's another, let's see, a brother from Cleveland. Okay, yes. This brother reached out to me, and the brother wants me to explain what exactly is a cleanse. Like, what does a cleanse do? What is the purpose of cleansing? Okay, that's a very good question. That's a very, very good question. So I'm going to explain. I'm sure if one person have that question, I'm sure there's somebody else who have the same question. Okay, so let me explain to you briefly what a cleanse is and what cleanse does. Okay. Now keep in mind there are different types of cleansing. Okay, For example, there are cleanses specifically for women, okay, for the female anatomy, okay? And then there are cleanses specifically for men, for the male anatomy, okay? So there are different types of cleanse, all right? And then you have general cleansing. The general cleansing is for anybody. Anybody can do them, okay? Okay, so cleansing is something that you do to help to keep your digestive system healthy so that you can avoid an accumulation of waste and toxins from building up in your body from all of the years of unhealthy diet. Okay? Cleansing will help your liver to eliminate toxins better so you don't get stuff like eczema, psoriasis, all type of skin problem, and all of that stuff, okay? And so you don't have a buildup of toxins inside of your system. That's what cleansing does. Cleansing helps to keep the liver healthy so the liver can do its job properly, okay? Cleansing will help your kidneys stay healthy so the kidneys are able to filter out your urine better, all right? That way you don't end up on dialysis, okay? And that way you don't have all the other illness in your body, all right? Cleansing will help to reduce a man's chance of developing inflammation in his prostate, all right? Cleansing will help to reduce your chance of developing gallstones in your gallbladder and kidney stones in your kidneys. Excuse me, that's what cleanses. Cleansing will help to reduce your chance of becoming constipated, okay? Cleansing will help to reduce cancer cells from forming, especially if you follow up with taking herbs on a daily basis, okay? Cleansing regularly will reduce your chance of having gout, for those of you who are struggling with gout, and all the other, and gut problem, all the other itis that people are struggling with. Itis, you know, all the itis like the diverticulitis, the colitis. Colitis is inflammation of the colon. As people have inflammation of the colon, something is going on. You have a lot of waste that is trapped in the colon. And that's what cleansing does. It clean out your colon, okay? Excuse me. Now, depending on the type of cleanse you're doing, some cleanse will help you to eliminate infection, like urinary tract infection and yeast infection, okay? That's what the parasite cleanse does, okay? If you guys are looking at my screen here, let me see. If you go down here, this is the parasite cleanse. So this type of cleanse will help you to get rid of infections if you're dealing with urinary infection of the urinary tract, okay? And for the ladies who are dealing with the other stuff, all right? That's what this does. You do 2 weeks worth of this and you get rid of all that stuff, okay? And right next to it, you have the 7-day cleanse. This is like a regular cleanse for anybody. Both these things here, all right? Not to mention, cleansing gives you a lot of energy because it's cleaning you out. It's cleaning out all of that bad stuff that you have going on here, right? And so what makes these cleanse different from each other? Like what separates these cleanse from each other? Well, what makes these cleanse different are the different types of herbs that are involved, okay? All of these, there are different herbs involved in these cleanse, okay? So the herbs that you would use for, let's say, a female anatomy, right? you wouldn't want to give that to a man, or vice versa, right? The herbs that are used in the parasite cleanse right here, that's not the same herbs that's in this 7-day cleanse here. These are two different types of herbal formulas. So that's what makes these cleanse different, is the herbs that are in these things. All right. Okay. So the purpose of cleansing regularly is so you can reduce the chance of getting a serious medical condition. That's the purpose of cleansing. You're keeping your digestive system, your gut, healthy from and free of, backed up and of waste and toxins in the body, things just sitting in your body and making you sick. That's the purpose of cleansing. All right. And understand, when you're cleansing, there's herbs that goes with it. You got to take the herbs. That's what keeping you healthy. The herbs, the cleansing, the herbs. You can't cleanse without herbs. You can't do one without the other. It's a process, right? So the herbs are a part of the cleansing process. Okay. All right. So I hope I was able to answer the brother question. If anybody else have any question about the cleanse, when I'm done here, you can put it in the chat. I'll read and then I'll try to answer your question. Okay, guys? All right. Let us move on to the other. So we were on the fishing. Okay, so I think I showed this the last time.
Overfishing is destroying ecosystems and depleting our oceans. But is factory farming of fish really a good alternative? This compassion over killing investigation is the first of its kind, bringing you inside the cruel and unnatural world of salmon aquaculture. Every year, hundreds of millions of fish are raised in these filthy underwater cages.
Hopefully by Monday morning, all the fish aren't dead in here.
He won't make it. No, he's gonna just suffer until he's fucking dead.
Fish are sensitive, intelligent animals. Many use tools and even recognize themselves in mirrors. Their pain sensors are remarkably similar to ours. In fact, our ability to feel pain is likely derived from one of our fish-like ancestors.
Guys, I want you to keep in mind, this is the food that this is what they're putting in the supermarket, giving us to eat. I want you to see how your food is being treated.
As fish scientist Becca Franks has concluded, the science on fish sentience is clear. Fish have the capacity to suffer and feel pain. This facility is owned by Cook Aquaculture, whose subsidiary, True North, has partnered with Martha Stewart for its seafood brand. This single hatchery raises millions of salmon every year. Thousands of tiny eggs are put into large metal tanks. Some babies will hatch with extreme deformities.
Spinal deformity happens when they're babies. You grow them out, you're too rough with them, you break their back and they grow back like that.
Others will succumb to fungal infections. Those who survive to adolescence endure an unnatural life, subject to cruelty and unimaginable pain.
And let me say this to you guys. This is why they fillet the fish. This is why they like to fillet the fish. Because you can't tell if the fish was rotting or, not rotting, but, if the fish had deformity or that type of stuff, because it's fillet, right? You can't tell. This is why we like to buy our fishes whole, so we're able to see what the fish look like. When you buy fillet fish, it has no bones in it. You can't tell. You don't know what was going on with it before they fillet it. You see what I'm saying?
Conditions are so filthy that fish are vaccinated to prevent the spread of disease, but the salmon are not properly anesthetized for.
Did y'all hear that? They had to vaccinate them. Okay, all right.
First, they thrash around as the workers try to inject them with needles.
Once the needle goes in, they walk, that tears the
Vaccinate stresses it. Takes its toll on some will die off. So once you vaccinate them, it takes them like a week before they start eating again.
Workers will also cut off parts of the salmon's sensitive fins as a way to identify them. On farms like this one, fish who are deemed no longer profitable are thrown away like trash, tossed in buckets. They're left to slowly suffocate or are crushed to death by other fish.
They just suffocate. Chris, dude, it's so rough. Over the years, you kind of get desensitized.
In just a single day, COK documented hundreds of fish being thrown during the sorting process. Imagine if this was any other animal, a chicken.
All right. Okay, guys, you got it. Okay, you got the point. I think a couple of people have some questions here. I'm going to answer your questions and then move on. Okay, I'm not able to pronounce your name. Arajuku Lovable. I hope I said your name right. Arajuku Lovable. You say so need to flush before taking. No, the Belly Be Gone product is actually a flush. It's a colon cleanse. I don't know if you're a brother or a sister. If you're talking about this right here, where is it? If you're talking about this product right here, that's a colon cleanse, honey. Okay. All right. That's a product. Okay. If you want to do like a full body cleanse, this is what you would want to do. This one right here, or this one right here, the parasite cleanse. This is a whole protocol here. All right. Whoops. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. All right. And somebody else wants to know. Not sure what website you were talking about. I shared two websites earlier. This is one of them, Grassroot Botanicals. This is the first one I shared. Okay. Hopefully you're able to see that. And the other one I shared was this right here, Elite Elements. All right. EliteElements.com. Those are the two websites that I showed earlier. Okay. All right. All right, let's move on here. Should I eat farm-raised seafoods? Should I eat farm-raised seafoods? Okay, here are some health concerns associated with poorly regulated or low quality farm-raised fish operation. I don't know if any of you guys, I know, listen, there are so-called black folks right here in the United States that own farm-raised facilities. Okay, I've seen them. They may not be big, but they own small businesses and they own small. So I know there are so-called black folks who do eat farm-raised fishes. All right. I know some of our people don't care. So I'm only here to share the information with you guys. For those of you who don't really see the difference, or you don't really understand the difference, or whatever the case is, you just go and you pick up something and you don't really care where it came from. I'm just showing you guys what's going on behind the scenes in these farm-raised fishes environment. All right. So some farm-raised fish, especially those fed with fish meal, right, can accumulate polychlorinated, I hope I'm saying this right, biphenyls, okay, that they call it PCBs and dioxins, okay? These chemicals are associated with higher cancer risk, endocrine disruption. If you don't understand what endocrine disruption is, This is what mostly women complain about: hormone imbalance, okay? Hormone imbalance, issues with your hormone, and not just the woman, the men as well, because men also have endocrine system that they have to worry about, okay? So this is not just targeting women, ladies and gentlemen. It's targeting your hormones, your endocrine system. It's disrupt the endocrine system. The endocrine system is a system that helps your body to produce hormone, okay? It also messes up your immune system. It causes immune system dysfunction, and it also causes developmental issues in children. That's what these chemicals do, okay? And these are the chemicals that are being fed to these fishes. Some more health potential health problem, okay? Antibiotic resistant bacteria exposure, allergic or adverse reaction, microbiome disruption, meaning your gut. You're going to have a problem in your gut, okay? All right. Farm-raised fish can carry Vibrio species. Now, I'm not sure what that is. Not sure what that is, okay? But all of these are bacteria and parasites. Listeria, okay? These are all parasites, okay? And they can lead to food poisoning, gastrointestinal infections, all right? Okay, severe illness in pregnant women, the elderly, and so on and so forth, okay? Polluted farm-raised environment can expose fishes to heavy metal. We talked about that the last time I was here. Pesticide, industrial runoff, okay? And this can cause neurological problems. And as I mentioned, hormonal disruption. And also high blood pressure. I know I spoke about this the last time I was here. How does farm-raised fishes contributes to high blood pressure? Well, contaminated farm-raised fish can contribute to high blood pressure through the accumulation of mercury. Oh yes, mercury and PCB from contaminated feeds and their environment. Farm-raised fishes can accumulate toxins like methylmercury from their foods, and they cannot easily get rid of these toxins, okay? PCBs are persistent in the environment and can build up in the fish tissue over time, okay? Research indicates that chronic exposure to environmental toxin such as mercury, arsenic, and PCB is associated with cardiovascular disease, including high blood pressure. And these are not my own words, okay? These are not my own words.
Hello and welcome. I'm Annette Reeder from thebiblicalnutritionist.com, and today it's all about salmon. And it is summertime, which means the salmon are swimming, and that means it's salmon season for you. This means this is the best time to be at your fishmonger buying some salmon. There's reasons why I want you to have wild caught salmon versus farm salmon. I'm going to share with you the top 3 reasons. Number 1, you get a higher omega-3, omega-6 ratio. This means it's going to be better for lesser inflammation, better cardiac endurance, less cancer risk, and that is number 1. Number 2, you get high counts of vitamins and minerals in salmon. Isn't that amazing? And 3, it is less toxic. You're not going to get the PCBs and the dioxins and all of the other contaminants that are in farm-raised fish. So I only want you to eat the fish as the way God designed it, living in an environment off of plankton and out.
Okay, so somebody has a question, and the question is, is the wild caught isn't impacted. Okay. Oh, this is the same in person. Arajuku Lovable. Okay. So let me explain. I'm gonna answer your question. Okay, I'm gonna answer your question. If you have what God put in the waters naturally, they're swimming around, right? They're swimming freely. They're able to go wherever they want, down all the way to the depth of the ocean, wherever they want, right? Okay. And you have a man-made structure in the ocean somewhere where you have thousands of fishes are being kept into small containers where they're not able to swim anywhere because they are being held in cages, right? And they're defecating in these cages. They're swimming around in all these defecation in the cage, all these poop. They're pooping and they're eating and pooping in there, right? And they're not able to go anywhere because they can't swim anywhere. They're in an enclosed environment, right? So they're being fed antibiotic, and chemicals are being poured into that water so that way they don't get sick from all of that nastiness that they're swimming around in. So which of these fishes do you think is healthier? The wild caught fish that's able to swim and go as far away and live in the wild, or the ones that's constrained and can't swim and can't go anywhere and living in filth? Of course, the wild caught is better. The ocean is a big place. There's depth where men can't go. The fishes are there, okay?
Hello.
All right. So what I want you guys to see here is the difference in color. The difference in the color. There's a Mr. Shimshu here is showing you the difference in the color between the wild caught and the farm raised. So let's see what he got going on here.
Wild caught salmon versus farm salmon. Let's check it out. Sitka Seafood Market sent us 3 types of wild caught salmon. We have classic sockeye, coho, and king salmon. Here's the color of the farmed, and this is the result of the color from their natural feed. Cleaned.
Whoops, I'm sorry, guys. I am so sorry. Okay, sorry about that. All right.
It is minimally processed, and it does come with the pin bones. Let's get everything out on the board. Nice. Let's give everything the smell test. Very faint smell, if at all. Firmness is about the same as farmed. Okay, that is really interesting about the wild caught. It doesn't really have a smell. I thought it would have been like gamey.
So if you guys notice, the wild caught fish is like more brighter in color, and the farm raised fishes are sort of more pale, more dull, and it has more fat on it. Okay.
Like how wild game is. So they all pass a smell test. Let's cut it up, make some sushi. Let's start with the sockeye. Then
all right. So I just wanted you guys to see that.
This is farmed. This is sockeye.
There you go. Hold on. Let me show that again. That again.
Then nigiri strips. It's insane. This is.
Oh man. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that.
Firmness is
Let's
about
run
the
that
same
back.
as farmed. Okay, that is really interesting about the wild caught. It doesn't really have a smell. I thought it would have been like gamey, like how wild is. So they all pass a smell test. Let's cut it up, make some sushi. Let's start with the sockeye, then nigiri strips. It's insane. This is farmed.
There we go. I wanted you guys to see that. So the one to the left is your wild caught fish, okay? And the one to the right, that's your farm raised. You can see the clear difference in the two, okay? That's what I wanted you guys to see. Okay, so why do restaurants serve mostly farm raised fishes? Oh, yes. Your restaurants, you think you're going to the restaurant and you're eating fancy fish and you're paying a lot of money for these fishes too, okay? Most, if not all, restaurants serve farm-raised fishes, okay? Now, they do have something that they call the catch of the day. And that's like on their show. It's like a special. That's not what you're getting all the time. Like they'll call it the catch of the day, okay? Wild caught. But all restaurants serve farm-raised food because why? It's cheaper, okay? It's the farm-raised fishes are in more of abundance, okay? There's a lot more of it, so it's easier to get. All right, and it's lower in cost, okay, and so that's why the restaurants, you know, it's you save money buying farm-raised fishes, right? So there you go. Do the restaurants serve any type of wild caught fish? Well, yes. If you go to the restaurant, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get, well, I don't know, some restaurant, maybe not all, but they will serve you, and that's usually wild caught. Okay. Sorry, guys. Okay, here we go. So I'm talking to my Benji in the room. Because I know there's a Benji sitting at the edge of his seat. Come on, Sister Malika. Come on, girl. Tell us the snapper is not farm-raised. Just so y'all know, the snapper is Benji's favorite fish. I got good news for you, Benji. Okay, good news. All right. Most snapper available in the United States are wild caught. Ding, 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 ding. So here's why. Here, I'm going to explain to you why, okay? The white men have not completely figured out a way to farm-raise snapper yet, okay? Remember I told you, the white men have studied certain species of fishes, okay? And these specific species of they found out are easier to farm raise. They're able to tolerate the environment raised in, okay? They're not dying fast and all of that stuff because, you know, this is so it's a lot of study that went into this. So as of right now, Esau have not figured out how to farm raise snapper because snapper is not as easy to farm raise as the fish that they're farm raising right now. Okay, so they're having some difficulties figuring this out. However, I'm not saying they're safe, guys. You know when it comes to Esau, man, you gotta, but as of right now, they're safe. So most snapper in your local supermarket. Now there are small hatcheries, and they're small. Esau have these little small that they're working on it. They're working on it, but it's not there yet. Okay, so like I said, most snapper in your local supermarket or fish market are wild caught. Okay, so there you go. Oh my goodness, I know the Benjis. Oh Lord. All right. So, according to my knowledge, wild caught fishes like snapper are caught year round. Okay. They are packaged and frozen immediately. So find them in the freezer section at the supermarket. Okay. Or, if you live in places like New York and stuff like that, Jersey, big cities where you have these big fish markets, you can find the snapper there as well. All right. That's why they're so expensive, because they're being wild caught. Okay. In case you're wondering why snappers are so expensive, is because they're being wild caught. All right. Okay. These pictures that I'm about to show you, I took them myself. I went to my local supermarket right here at ShopRite. I don't know if you guys have ShopRite wherever you are. went to ShopRite, and I took these because I wanted to see what they have there. Okay, so they're Bowl and Basket brand at ShopRite supermarket. They have wild caught fishes there. They have both wild caught and farm raised. I'm just you know, Sister Malika, when I come here, I like to give you guys solution, right? I always tell you guys that. When I come here, I like to offer you solution because I know somebody's going to ask me, where can I go to get real fish? Okay, they're at your supermarket. You got to know where to go. Okay, so ShopRite, they do have wild caught, but you will find them in the freezer aisle. Okay, this is a whiting fillet, and this is in the freezer aisle. This is where I found this. This is wild caught. Let's see what else they got. My pictures for you guys. Okay, so this is your wild caught snapper. Okay, and they, like I told you, they freeze them and put them in the freezer. All right, so this is your snapper there. This is your wild caught flounder. All right, there you go. That's in the freezer aisle. This is farm raised, so they do the farm raised. Okay, I don't know what that is. I've never heard of swai fillet, but anyway, they have farm raised there, and they have the tilapia. I just wanted to show you guys that they do have farm raised and wild caught there. Okay, all right. So I did a little bit of research, and I wanted to know where the company ShopRite get their wild caught seafoods from. Okay, so according to my research, ShopRite, the company, they get their fishes from different sources. They fly fresh fishes overnight from places like Alaska and Hawaii to the store. Okay, they also visit local docks and work directly with fishermen to get fresh locally caught seafoods. And one of these places that they go there's a place in New Jersey called Point Pleasant. For those of you brothers that are watching and sisters that are watching from New Jersey, I'm not familiar, but I'm sure you are. So that's where ShopRite gets some of their wild caught fishes. Point Pleasant, New Jersey. All right. Okay. Where can I find wild caught fishes? So I'm going to give you guys a couple of brands. I know somebody's going to ask me what. Okay. There are some companies. One of them is called Trident Seafood. Trident, Trident Seafoods. So when you go to your local supermarket, look for that brand. They do have them there. And these guys specifically, they do wild caught fishes. Okay. Trident Seafoods. You can look them up online, and I believe they're in local supermarket. There's another one called the Wild Salmon Company. The Wild Salmon Company. You can Google these. It'll come right up. The wildsalmoncompany.com. All right. TridentSeafood.com. There's another one called Alaska Seafood Company. Just type that into Google, alaskaseafoodcompany.com. Okay. There's another one called Loki Fish Company, Loki Fish Company. Okay. All right. Let's see. Wild salmon is seasonal, so you will more than likely find these companies in frozen food aisle in the wintertime because there isn't a lot of fishing in the wintertime, I believe. Okay, there we go. Okay. There's another one called Aquastar. All right. So there you go. Pack of Aquastar wild salmon, $8.99. All right, guys. I'm just giving y'all solutions here because I know somebody is asking for solutions. All right. So these are the brands that are wild caught. Okay. I'm almost done, but we're going to talk about something else. Where do we get our chicken? So I want you guys to know that 99% of your chicken is raised in the United States. That's good news, right? Okay. Less than 1% is imported. That's good news. Okay. All right. Clutch your pearls. Clutch your pearls, ladies. Gentlemen don't have any pearls.
This never-before-seen footage of a chicken breeding factory farm was filmed by a compassion over killing investigator working undercover inside Tyson Foods. It reveals shocking abuse of breeder birds, the parent flocks of the chickens who will be raised and killed for meat. This is where your chicken dinner begins.
Actually, you can't let nobody see you. You know, if a stranger or somebody's here, you don't know if he's working for the animal rights. You can't let him see you do that. Because it's inhumane standing on his head and letting them suffocate. They'll take you to court for that.
Despite Tyson's public commitment to animal welfare, our footage reveals a very different story. Chickens were punched, kicked, swung, and thrown by their fragile wings. Tyson workers and management also cruelly killed birds.
All right, listen, man. When I was putting this together, I swear to you guys, listen, I grew up raising chicken. Okay, we had a whole bunch of chicken on our property. There's no way ever, not one day, not a minute, not a second in my life have I ever treated the animals like this at all. This is, and you know what really kills me? I look at this videos and there are melanated people in this video. I see what appears to be Jake in this video, and this is wild to me. I expect this type of stuff from Esau, but never in 1,000 years, man, I expect this from Jake at all. I couldn't believe it. I just could not believe it.
Young male breeder chickens are subjected to a cruel and unnecessary process called boning. A plastic rod or bone is stabbed through their sensitive nostrils.
This is a undercover investigation at the Tyson Chicken Company. Okay, the Tyson. You guys are familiar with Tyson, right? Okay. This is what you go to buy at the supermarket.
The wide bones physically block the birds from eating food from certain dispensers. Tyson starves these young birds, who are genetically manipulated to quickly grow unnaturally large in an attempt to curb health defects. And during an assembly line of vaccinations, birds are grabbed, repeatedly poked with needles, then callously thrown to the ground.
Don't want to eat them, mate. I can feel all this shit going on, man.
At around 4 months old, birds are packed up and shipped out to a breeding facility. By their fragile wings or legs, they're slammed, thrown, stuffed inside crowded cages. Some birds are crushed under transport cages and run over with forklifts. Severely injured birds were sometimes tossed into dead piles, left to die slowly.
Okay, I can't do it anymore. I'm done. Okay, guys, I can't watch no more of this nonsense. But I think you guys got the picture. You guys got the picture. Okay, you guys got the picture. I can't even play there's another video. I'm not even gonna play it. I'm not gonna play it. So I know somebody is going to ask, Sister Malika, where are we supposed to get our chicken? Someone is going to ask that question. Let me tell you guys something, okay? The scripture says, seek and thou shalt find. Okay? Seek and you shall find. Let me tell y'all something. If you go to Google and search local or family-owned poultry farm, right? And you put in your state or your city or your county that you live in, 9 times out of 10, you're going to find them. There is either a family-owned or just a small business poultry farm somewhere in your state. And then you have the what do you call these people? The Amish people. They have their own farm. There is at least one family of those people in at least every state in the United States. Okay, so it's not so much that you don't know where to. I mean, you just don't seek. You're not seeking. Now I will agree that the chicken, family-owned poultry farm, they are a little bit more expensive now. Okay, they're a little bit more expensive. However, I'm just giving you solutions here. That's it. I'm giving you information. You do what you will with the information I'm giving you. But I'm telling you, there are small poultry farms all over the United States that you can get. If you love chicken and you want to, you're eating chicken every day, they don't have all of the chemicals and all that stuff that you find. You ever cook the chicken and you see all this white stuff and all this slimy stuff on it? Then you go to the family-owned local farm and you cook the chicken and you don't see none of that stuff on it, none of that chemical stuff in the pot. Yeah, I like to compare stuff. Better quality. Now look at these white chicken compared to the ones that you just watched in that video. Hang on. Right? It's night and day. It's night and day. You have these chicken right here. They're on a farm. They're in better condition than the ones you just watched in the video, right? They're walking around in the grass. The environment it's not dark and scary, right? They're outside in the sunlight, right? In the video, you see those other chicken, they're kept in a dark room. You see what I mean? That's the difference. And they're not cramped up and look unhappy. You could tell the difference. It's like night and day. Let me leave this here for a few seconds. What in the French toast are we eating? Okay.
Grown meat has arrived in this country. Would you ever eat lab-grown meat?
Lab-grown meat? What's that? I thought this was meat. Or this. Or this. But no, I'm wrong to assume that. Meat is now being grown in labs. To make it, they use a syringe to pull tissue out of an animal.
The tissue is cut into minuscule pieces to separate the muscle fibers and cells. The cells start dividing. When all these little pieces of muscle are layered together, we get exactly the same thing we started with: beef.
But is it safe? Well, U.S. regulators have approved it.
2 cultivated meat producers are getting the green light to begin commercially selling their chicken.
Take your fake.
Did y'all hear that? Okay, somebody sitting somewhere in the back of the room. You missed that because you weren't paying attention. Oh, it just went right over your head. Let's run it back. Let's run it back. Oh, hang on.
When all these little pieces of muscle are layered together, we get exactly the same thing we started with: beef.
But is it safe? Well, U.S. regulators have approved it.
2 cultivated meat producers now getting the green light to begin commercially selling their chicken.
Take your fake lab-grown.
Oh, yeah. They've gotten the green light. Do y'all think that these things are not already in the supermarket? In your McDonald's fast food place, your chicken nuggets that you're feeding your babies with, you're in your frozen chicken nuggets in the freezer at the the supermarket that y'all like to feed the babies with. Just take it home and throw it in the microwave and microwave it and give it to your babies. Anyway.
Meat elsewhere. We're not doing that in the state of Florida. Florida and Alabama quickly outlawed lab-grown meat.
And we appreciate that ban.
Bill Ballard for cattlemen.
It's a recognition of the importance of preserving the family farm structure of agriculture in the United States. And if it weren't for Alabama and Florida doing it, then the meat packers would have the ability to pass it off to unsuspecting consumers as if it were indeed a meat product, which it is not.
They don't conceal it. They say this is cultivated meat.
It is, but they haven't told the public exactly what's in it.
They pull it out of the animal and grow it in the lab. It's still the same source,
but not produced in the same manner.
How do you grow meat in the lab?
Some activists suppose it too, making videos like this.
You use something called immortalized cells, meaning they grow like a tumor. Want to taste it?
I think I'll pass.
Now lobbyists are persuading politicians in other states to ban lab-grown meat.
Lab-grown meat has no place in Nebraska. That's according to Governor Pillen.
But wait, why do politicians get to decide for everyone? I got a producer of lab-grown chicken to let me try some. Their employees sauteed it, and I tried it.
This is what Florida banned, and we view it as this is 99% chicken.
Melissa Musiker works for Upside Foods, one of two companies producing lab-grown chicken. Upside sued Florida over its ban.
One of these is chicken, and another is lab-grown chicken.
I offered people a taste of what Florida's agriculture commissioner calls frankenmeat versus chicken we bought at home.
I'm sorry. Did y'all catch that? These lab-grown folks sued Florida because Florida said they didn't want the chicken, the fake chicken there. They sued. Okay, I'm done. Okay, all right, let's carry on. Hang on. Hang on.
This is 99% chicken.
Melissa Musiker works for Upside Foods, one of two companies producing lab-grown chicken. Upside sued Florida over its ban.
One of these is chicken, and another is lab-grown chicken.
I offered people a taste of what Florida's agriculture commissioner calls frankenmeat versus chicken we bought at Whole Foods.
They're both really good. I think that one's lab-grown.
Bingo. People correctly guessed which was which.
That's the real one, and that's the lab-grown.
This one was juicier. I assume this is the lab-grown one?
It was. People liked the lab-grown chicken.
That's much juicier.
This was moist and tasty. Although everyone in our test could tell the difference in this taste test of a different lab-grown chicken.
Y'all notice there's not one black person testing any of this nonsense? Okay, I just wanted to point that out.
This food critic couldn't.
I was so sure that this is the real chicken.
All this raises the question, why not let us consumers decide? Why are you bribing politicians to ban it?
The government has a legitimate role in ensuring that we have an abundant and affordable and safe food supply. You can't say that about this lab-grown meat.
Lab-grown beef would make the food supply more secure because you'd have another choice.
You should not be able to make that decision when you know that the decision will have the effect of threatening the viability of our food production.
You could have said this about horse-drawn carriages years ago. Ban cars.
There are sacrifices to be made with progress, but one sacrifice we cannot make is the ability to maintain a viable food production system.
I don't buy his logic. Allowing an extra option would make our food supply more resistant to disruption.
We can make the equivalent of millions of chickens, and we only produce the edible product of the chickens. There's no beaks, there's no feet, there's no feathers.
And no animals are killed.
Chicken meat production is sadly a story of suffering.
That's one reason a lot of people eschew eating animal protein, and they say, I don't want to eat that anymore because it makes me feel uncomfortable. This can be a really attractive product for people like them because this is a way for them to say, like, literally vote with their plate.
Are y'all looking at her face? I mean, I'm sorry, guys. I'm not trying to be. Look at her face. Take a look at this face here. She looks sick. All that lab-grown stuff. Just look at this woman's face. Jesus Christ.
With their plate.
Would you buy laboratory-grown food?
Yeah, I liked it.
We should have the freedom to vote with our dollars, decide for ourselves if lab-grown meat or lab-grown anything is something we want. Maybe we won't like it. Then we won't buy it. But it's wrong when politicians forbid us to try something.
Yeah, not when they have it in the supermarket and they're hiding the name on the packaging and they're not telling you that it's lab grown.
Grown meat has.
Anyway, all right. So let me tell y'all something, right? Most people that I know, I mean, in my circle, including myself, we don't buy boneless meat, and there's a reason for that. Personally, we never had boneless meat growing up. When I was growing up in the Caribbean, we never had boneless meat. There's no such thing as boneless meat, because a lot of our meat came from off our farm. So, it's natural meat, right? I tell my husband, and I also tell the people around me, when you go to the supermarket to buy your meat, do not buy boneless meat. Why do I say this? Why do I tell people to stop buying boneless meat? Because this is how they're able to sneak this type of lab stuff onto your plate, right? Because as of right now, lab-grown meat has no bones in it. So they're able to sell you this boneless stuff in the packaging, and you don't know if you're buying regular boneless chicken or some lab-grown stuff. So make sure when you buy a piece of meat and it has bones in it, at least you know it comes from an animal somewhere, right? The bones in your meat and fish is an indicator that your meat came from an animal. But when you don't see any bone, you can't tell if the meat was cultivated in a lab. All right? We have some chicken here in front of us here, right? So I went to the BBC World News. This is where I got this from. And it says, in Singapore, right? Singapore was the first country to authorize the sale of cultivated lab meat for human consumption. Okay. This is what they're eating in Singapore. Okay. Also, in February of 2025, lab-grown meat goes on sale in the United Kingdom in dog foods. And it's coming right here to the United States. I wouldn't be surprised if it's not here already. Can you spot the difference if you see it at your local supermarket? Can you spot the difference? The chicken to the left is your regular real chicken, and the one to the right is your lab-grown chicken. Hopefully, you're able to identify it when you go to the supermarket, okay? Okay. This photo was taken from the New York Times. That's where I got it from. The New York Times. This is lab-grown chicken. I can't. More lab-grown chicken. This is your chicken nuggets. So here's a question for you guys, right? For those of you, and I know because I know a lot of female with children, and happen to know that a lot of mothers like to give their babies chicken nuggets. I grew up and I see it in my family here in the United States. Okay, chicken nuggets. You driving around, coming from somewhere, you're driving past McDonald's or wherever you're going, and you stop and you get the baby some chicken nuggets, right? You don't even know what's in it. This is lab-grown chicken nuggets. Would you be able to tell? Or you just give this to your babies? What's in that frozen chicken nuggets in the frozen aisle? Do you know what that is? Okay. All right. I think we've come to the end of our PowerPoints here. So what I want you guys, before I go, what I want you guys to do, right? If you have any questions, like, you know, Sister Malika, what are we supposed to do? You know, yada, yada. Listen, you got to seek out your local farmers, okay? Seek out your local farmers. They still exist. Remember when I tell you guys, the Most High always give us an out. There's always an out. There's always an out. All is not lost. Seek out local farmers. When you're buying meat, buy your meat with bones. Stop buying these filleted meat and filleted fishes. Okay? Buy whole fishes. Chop the head off yourself. And, you know, these may not help you stay 100% healthy, but they're better. They're better alternative is what I'm trying to tell you, okay? And word of advice, cleanse your body regularly. Why am I saying that? Why am I telling you to cleanse your body regularly? Because cleansing your body ensure that you don't have these frankenfoods and chemicals sitting in your gut, causing cancer and other illness to develop, right? At the beginning of this PowerPoint here, I said, let's go back. Let's go back. What did I say at the beginning of the PowerPoint? Hang on. Hang on, guys. Hang on. I'm going to remind you guys what I said at the beginning of the PowerPoint. Our bread is defiled. Right? There you go. The bread is defiled. But there's something you can do to help yourself. Cleansing your gut, cleaning up your body regularly. It's giving you an opportunity to flush some of this stuff out the system so it's not sitting in there and causing tumors to develop in your body and cells and cancer cells to form. Do you understand? Do you guys understand what I'm trying to tell you here? You can't get away from this stuff, but there's things you can do to counter these things. You have to keep your gut clean at all times. Keep your gut clean and put some herbs in the gut. Put some herbs in your system. That's how you counter these frankenfoods and chemicals. It helps you to keep these wastes and toxins from building up in your body and sitting in your gut and causing sickness and tumors to develop. This is why I, Sister Malika, keep telling my people to cleanse the system all the time so you don't have stuff sitting in the gut and causing issues in your body to develop. Let me see if you guys have any questions for me. I think we're at the end of the PowerPoint. I'm gonna go a couple more minutes and look at the see if you guys have any questions for me. If you have any question, put it in the chat, guys, before we end the live, okay? Have any questions for me? Put it in the chat. There was a couple of questions that I may have missed about the flush and the cleanse and something. Somebody said all right. Hang on. Let me go back. We're at the website called Grasser Botanicals again. That's the website there. Hopefully you guys are able to see it. And I know there were some questions about the cleanse and the flush. So this right here is a flush, okay? It's a liquid flush. You drink it, it's going to flush you out. It's one of the best thing if you have gallstones. If you don't have gallstones, you should still take this because you have them in there. They may not be hurting, but it'll help to break them up and flush them out before they start, messing with you. Okay. But they're not just for gallstones. This is not just for gallstone. It helps to clean out your colon, clean out any waste you have sitting in your gut. All right. This is the liquid flush right here. It's in liquid. All right. You take it. This is going to clean you out. This is a capsule. If you don't like to taste, a lot of people don't like the taste of the stuff. So you don't have to do the liquid. If you don't want to taste it, you can do this right here. This is also a colon cleanse. This right here is a more gentle colon cleanse. Okay. This right here, I'd say this one in the liquid in the bottle, this is like for severe constipation. If you're really doing like a full body cleanse, this is what you want to do right here. This one right here is like a more gentle cleanse right here. The belly be gone colon cleanse, that's more gentle cleanse. I just want to make that clear, okay? This is a more gentle cleanse. All right. This one is more of a full body cleanse. You're really getting yourself out with this one right here, okay? Just wanted to make that very clear. Again, this is the lung cleanse. This is lung cleanse right here. No, I don't think this is going to have you go into the bathroom, okay? Shouldn't, all right? This is just something to keep your lung and your respiratory system healthy, especially for this time of winter time, all right? This right here. Okay. All right. If you guys don't have any questions for me, we're going to end the live. I just want to thank everybody for tuning in today. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in today. If you don't have any more questions, we're going to end the live. Give me 1 second, guys.